Hello and welcome to Live Code Afternoon Tea. My name is Travis Toulson, and today we have a fun episode. I am diving into AI agents for the first time. Now I have attempted once before on like an early iteration before AI agents was released, but this is the first time I'm actually going to try to create an AI agent end to end. I've had a number of opportunities to do labs and review labs and participate in labs, and it hasn't happened yet. I would either forget or end up on some other priority. And so this is going to be hopefully the first one that I actually create. I do have my requisite tea for the day, going with the masala chai. Very good. So what are we going to be doing with AI agents? Well, here recently we have been working on the C3 troubleshooter. Hi, Christy. Oh, I am not set up today. Where's the little, there it is. There it is. Okay. Now we're in a slightly better direction. So what we've been working on is the C3 troubleshooter. And just to kind of give you a sense of where things have landed on this one so far, I can now come in here. I swapped out our input box with a select 2. So now I can type in and I can see myself in here. And I get all of these. I've added the, let's zoom in a bit. There we go. I have added a show all capability so I can show all the maintenance actions. But if I did not have that, no, I am not saying it again, Earl. It will only show the maintenance actions that actually apply to my current situation, to the current state of my profile. But as I said, you can see that there are a whole slew of different actions that are available in here. Hey there, welcome. So I've got all these different maintenance actions that we can do to fix your profile for C3. But then every time we're at one of the events running this at the booth, I inevitably make the joke, what if we could make an AI agent to do this for us? And so we're going to see if we can actually do that. We're going to see if what would this C3 troubleshooter look like if I were to build it as an AI agent instead of as a service portal, and something that requires a little bit more manual intervention, I guess. I don't know. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it. So I think I have the roles. I think I have everything I need, but I have no idea. The first thing I'm going to do is create a local update set so that if everything goes off the wall, I can back it out. AI agent stuff. The 2 hard things in computer science, one of them being naming things. So let's go to AI Agent Studio. And while I'm doing this, let's see, somewhere in here, I can do Get a little bit of background music going. Okay, so I'm in AI Agent Studio. I immediately clicked X on the pop-up. I don't know if I should have done that. So let's see. I could take a tour. I don't want to take a tour. I just want to create something. AI agents. Oh, there's the ones Christie's have been working on. That's the main content that I've seen on AI agents so far has been Christie's work on the plant care specialists. I'm going to go in that direction. That theme is fire. Christy went through and updated all of the themes on our dev program instances so that each one appears unique and we know which instance we're in at any given point in time, and the themes look fantastic. Is the music still too loud? Here, let's... Here, let's try there. We'll get it dialed in. All right, so I'm going to try to add an AI agent here. Perfect. All right, so I can use AI to generate it. Okay, that's interesting. I want my AI agent to specialize in resolving issues with the CreatorCon C3 profile. Welcome, Laszlo. The general steps involve rating the incident table, filtering for relevant incidents. Okay. General steps are to ask the user for the profile name or email address, find the relevant profile, related QR code records. What else do I need? So one of the interesting things about doing this through the AI approach already is just that instead of thinking through what goes wrong on the profile, I'm already thinking in terms of what the happy path looks like. So I'm going to try and describe what happy path looks like and see if the AI can determine when something is not happy path, and then figure out how to take action on it from there. Let's see. I need the profile record. I need related QR code records, related photo submission records, and related generated image records. Oh. Related user record. And roles for that user. So basically, for a profile to work, you have to have certain roles. The main one being the player role. There's also player with avatar and player without avatar, depending on the state your profile is in. And there's information on the profile record, the QR codes record, Yeah, basically these are all of the records that relate to the profile, and depending on the state they're in, it drives what access you have, what you can see, and what you can do within the CreatorCon C3 app. So then use the records to determine if the profile is in a valid state and take corrective actions if it is not. I have no idea what this is going to give me. Okay, profile issue agent. I kind of like that. Let's change it up to C3 profile issue agent. Yeah, that is the fun of AI. Like I did a promo picture using Nano Banana at Earl's recommendation, and it was pretty funny because it changed my facial expression and my pose in a photo that I gave it, but it changed my eye color to brown and gave me 2 wedding rings. It was great. Designed for users experiencing problems with their CreatorCon C3 profiles, this agent collects all relevant data, determines the profile's state, and applies targeted fixes. It streamlines troubleshooting by automating record retrieval and correction steps. Hilariously, she was the one that spotted it. Sarah was the one that spotted the duplicate wedding ring. Let's see. Using precise language, define the roles for this agent and the steps that make up its problem-solving process. For each step, define a specific action and any criteria. The AI filled this out too. Specializes in diagnosing and resolving issues related to CreatorCon C3 by gathering blah, 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 blah. Communicates directly with users to collect necessary identifiers, provide clear, actionable feedback throughout the resolution process. I'm okay with this. All right, list of steps. User input collection. Ask the user to provide the CreatorCon C3 profile name or email address. Section 2, data gathering. Get all the stuff. Profile state analysis. So profile state analysis, I'm probably going to have to provide it some more information and context on just to tell it what Happy Path looks like. I think. Section 4, corrective actions. If the profile is not valid, identify missing or incorrect data in the associated records, update related records to correct any identified issues, assign missing roles to the user if required. I don't recall telling it that, but maybe the AI was listening to my mic. It wasn't. It just being funny. Let's see. Save activity notes detailing the resolution steps taken. That seems reasonable. Communication. Inform the user about the actions performed and the current status of their profile. See below regarding how the profile is expected to work. Well, I don't know, because there's add tool. Let's let's go with what it gave me to start, because there's another tab down here, and I'll come back and modify this if I need to. Identify categories. I'm okay with that. This is really wild. Like, so far I'm pretty happy with everything that the LLM has been generating for this. It's pretty cool. Possible duplications found. Ignore and continue. Okay, so neither of these agents are actually similar. So I'm going to ignore that. Okay. Okay, we'll use the AI to recommend tools too. Okay, so let's see what we got. Collect relevant incident details for a problem. No, I don't think so. AI agent update related record. Or agent AI update related record. Maybe? I think. Let's go look at that flow, because I don't actually know what that flow, well, yeah, let's go look at that flow. Thank you. I appreciate it. Which one was I looking up? Agent AI update related record. Okay, there's a way to search these. What was it? There we go. It was a subflow. My bad. AI agent. Agent AI. Woof. Agent AI update record. Inputs and outputs. Column name, number, table fields. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if that one's useful or not. I suppose it could be. All right, well, I know I won't get user details. We'll do that one. Table name another of the record for the provided record number. Get record details seems useful. Assign a set of given roles. I need to get user roles. Save activity notes. Generated by knowledge articles. I don't think we want that one. Get user roles. Since I've got the get user roles flow, I won't add the script. I'll probably have to add additional skills to it. A trigger. Define at least one trigger with a table the AI agent is applied to. Edit the conditions for when you want to activate your agent. Oh. We'll go for when it's updated, I guess. Where's my C3 profile? This one. Method of defining sysuser. Choose how to define the sysuser when the conditions are met. Okay. Oh, it won't let me do a 3? There it goes. Okay, C3 profile updated. Whew, at least one condition is required. We'll just do if the condition in active is true. Well, no. If user is not empty. I am absolutely guessing at all of this. Are you voting skip the entire trigger process or objective template? Oh, I didn't have to put a trigger at all. Good call, Christy. We can come back to trigger later. Let's get something semi-working. Okay. Users will be able to discover and manually engage with this AI agent in one of these channels. Virtual agent. Let's use the AI to generate. Okay, save and test. V1 is active. Choose an AI agent or workflow or agentic workflow. Run a one-time test to see how it thinks through a task. Okay, so let's go to the profiles. Okay. Let's do... Let's make sure I'm in a faulty state. So I'm not marked for the current event and I'm not active, which is basically the error states we've been operating in the previous episodes on. I don't even know what I'm expecting this to do. This is such a weird way of going about solving a problem. Let's see. The user has reported an issue with logging into the C3 app and has provided their email address and profile details. According to the agent instructions, the next step is to retrieve the profile record. No operations have been completed yet, so the first pending task is to fetch the profile record. Is it okay to proceed? Hey Ben, how's it going? Yeah, it does take some rewiring of the brain. Like this is a really different way of thinking about approaching the problem, because like usually I'm thinking about a very specific thing I'm trying to solve, and I don't know, part of me is wondering if I shouldn't have smaller, more specific agents that handle very specific tasks and then build a bigger parent agent that can orchestrate them. I'm not sure. I imagine that's probably a thing, but I'm stabbing in the dark right now. So I'm gonna try and solve it with one big one, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. Okay, the attempt to retrieve the profile record with the email address was unsuccessful, obviously. Please advise on alternative methods to obtain the necessary profile information or suggest the next steps. So what did it do? The next pending task is to retrieve the profile record. The best action is get record details with the input number. No. All right, so that did not work. How do I cancel this? We're done. Okay, so that did not work as I had hoped. Basically, it looks like one of the skills I gave it, the get record details, may not have been the one to go with. So let's go back. Let's go back and look at the skills I've given it, because what it's capable of doing seems pretty important here. So it chose get record details, which has the inputs number. Well, that would explain it. So if I gave it a skill that allows it to look up a task record, then it would presumably accept a number. Obviously, that's not what we're doing here. So I imagine we want to hit, well, I don't know. Let's just see if there is an available tool. File upload, flow action. Oh, okay. Oh, choose a different one. Conditions isn't supported and sort column isn't supported. mean, it's nice that it tells me that. I'm not seeing a flow action that I can use here. Yeah, I don't see one that I can use here. Knowledge graph. Now assist skill. Get new skill details. No, I don't see anything there. Oh, record operation. Get C3 profile record. Oh no. Retrieves the C3 profile record given okay, so we're gonna try and set up this looks like the one I want. This looks like the way to look up a record. Email is maybe. But how would I make this dynamic? Yes, I am a September birthday person too. It would be today. Uses a record operation to interact with and manage records like incidents, cases, and more. Oh, add an input. Input name, email. I don't know. Is there an is input? I'm not sure about this. Happy birthday, Ben. Oops. It's moving. That is because for the most part, I don't celebrate it and I tend to keep it fairly quiet. Or, alternate email is. Now, I don't know if this curly brace, $ curly brace syntax is the way to access inputs or not. I'm gonna try it. It's the way we do variables in a lot of other places, so I don't know, maybe. Of the person Okay. I'm just going to throw this in as well. Or... nope, it won't let me do an operator for last name. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get rid of that input then. We'll just go with email. That's fine. Returned fields. I know I need active. I know I need avatar. I know I need... Let's see. I need state. Probably need card review. So now I'm just selecting the fields that I think will be relevant to the AI making a decision based off of this record. Card for on-site print. Community ID, community badges. I don't think I need those. Not for this anyway. Flavored persona. First ServiceNow release. Technical superpower. Those all appear on the card. Current event is needed. Mid printer is part of the processing. Profile type. Rank ID. I think let's go with that. We can always come back and edit this. Order by, don't care. Sort type, don't care. We'll do supervised for now. Processing message. Getting profile record, that works. Convert tool output to a more readable plain text format. Let's do none for now. Add. Okay, so now we've got a record operation in there. So let's get rid of this one because I don't think that one's relevant anymore. Okay. Let's see if it asks me for an email address. It did not. But you don't have the email address. Now I'm just playing with it. Oh, okay, yeah. At ServiceNow.com. I'm ready to retrieve, yes. No records. No, we can end. So why? Is to retrieve the C3 profile record using the user's email address, which is available in memory as that one, is get C3 profile record with the input email set to, that is correct. But one thing to note is the E in email here is capitalized, and I wonder if that's the issue. In that step, yeah, see, I capitalized it here, but I did not down here. Actually, let me go back real quick. Okay, yeah, we'll run with this. I have a profile issue. Let's see what it does. Well, yes, that's... And that did not work as planned. So even though I've instructed it to ask for the email address, it doesn't seem to be. That's all right, we'll work on it. Let's see if we can at least get it to pull a profile. I should change that to unsupervised, so it stops asking me to do it. Still 0 records. Please advise on the appropriate next steps for handling this. Processing message, get profile record. I don't understand why. Let's simplify our condition set. Oops, I don't know if that's saved. Let's go back and find out. It did not. Save, 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 save. Just to make sure it is there. Excuse me, sorry. Still 0 records. Action inputs, email. Query is email equal to $ email. So it's still not building that right. What you got, Christy? What am I missing? Let's see. Email. $ email. Email address. Using the email as input, so I'm kind of riffing off of Christy's suggestion to change it and tell it in the steps what the input should be. So I'm going to tell it to use email as input. Oh. Oops, go back to testing. Told it to use the tool as well as what input should be. And Laszlo says the logs talk about malformed JSON if that helps. So we'll have to see how that... The next step is to retrieve the profile. The appropriate action is to use the record tool with the email as input. Oh, yes. I gotta make that unsupervised. See, the input is still showing with the capital. I'm gonna try something really dumb. Just on the off chance that this hold on. Before I test, let's make the daggone thing autonomous. Yes. Do not ask me. Just do. This is really different from programming in code or even Flow Designer because there's a level of specificity you have to provide in both code and Flow Designer. If it doesn't work, it's because you actively did something wrong in setting up the binding. In this, I feel like I'm trying to convince someone else to do the work. It's more like explaining it to a person than it is explaining it to a machine. Which is a little weird, but it's a very different approach. All right, so still nothing was found. There's the email, operation lookup. It's passing the input in, it's just that down here, like, is it not the $ curly brace syntax? Is it something else? Because, like, right here, we've got the input email. Don't give it one. We're gonna try that. It is gonna be so weird if that's the case. Don't give it one. Use the description field instead. This is so weird. I'm going to instruct it to update the conditions with this email address. Stabbing blindly here. So Laszlo says maybe double curly braces, so we can try that as well. This is the thing with trying something new and having zero training or experience in it. You just kind of stab in the dark and hope for the best. And again, the not having training in it's my fault because I just didn't take the training. Oh. Nope. It did not pass it through. Okay, that didn't work. All right, Laszlo, we're going to try double curly braces next. And of course, the good thing is once we figure out how this stuff works, other parts of this should come a little bit more quickly. And that's one thing to keep in mind as I'm going through this, is that when I was doing the maintenance troubleshooting tool in Service Portal and backend, writing all those scripts manually, I mean, I think there was like 4 or 5 episodes worth of it. That's me with, 13 years of experience on the platform, been using Service Portal since before day one. I have a lot of experience with those tools, whereas this is me with AI agents and 0 experience. This is like day one. And I think that makes for an interesting comparison between the two. Double curly braces says no. Makes me sad. Well, I don't know, maybe that actually is... It actually did get 1 record. And it is the record I wanted it to get. Let's... Let's try with a different email and see if I get a different result, because the last one did actually give me a user or a profile record, and it was the one I was expecting. See? It is. It's working. I think it's the double curly brace. I think you were right on that one, Laszlo. I think it's the double curly brace syntax when you want to bind it. Like, it's passing. It's giving us what we want. That's so weird. Okay. Please provide the related QR code records for the C3 associated with... Yeah, no, that's not what we want. All right. So now we need to get... Now we need to get the other related data dealing with this. So let's add some more tools. Record operation. Get related QR codes. We'll retrieve the QR codes related to a particular profile. Related to, yeah. Add profile. The sys-ID of the profile record to look up. Okay, and we want to look up from our QR code table where the profile is you, where the profile dot sysid is profile ID. And mostly I want the QR types that it has. Yeah, that's kind of it. I just want the QR types. I just want to know how many QR codes it has and what types they are. That's all I really care about. Retrieving related QR codes. I'm going to give it the concise, autonomous. Hey, Jerry, how's it going? I got to check my calendar because I am actually at time. I don't want to be at time. All right, so I did the get related QR codes. I set it to autonomous. Save. So if I look back here, yeah, it's going to fetch the profile, fetch the related QR codes, fetch the related photo submission. Add tool record operation. Get related photo submission. We'll retrieve a photo submission records related to a profile. Add input, profile ID. Very descriptive, I know. Photo submission. Look up. Request our profile. .sysid is and what do we want? What am I most interested in here? I know I need the state of them. I might need the number. I doubt it, but I might. I think that's all I really need. Order by number, just for funsies. So that'll give me the photo submission. I'm going to try and wrap it up here shortly. Get related gets the related generated image records for a blarg. For a profile. Thank you, Jerry. Add input, profile ID, ID of the profile. Oops, no, I'm looking up generated image. Look up for this one, I actually need to go to the photo submission. I got to dot walk the photo submission, which then goes to the profile record. and then to the sysid. And after this, I think I might test and see what we've got going on. So for this one, again, I need state, I need probably photo submission, probably number. Yeah, that feels good. Order by number, just because. Do your thing. Add. All right, so we've added a few tools here. So let's save, run a quick test. Start. I hate it. It took me like almost the entire hour to figure out how to bind the variable, and now that I can, I'm like cranking through these lookups. No records were found in the QR code for the requested query. Womp womp. No photo submissions. No generated images. All right, so let's go back to that AI agent, because I will lay odds. Fetch related QR code records using the profile as the input. Actually, hold on a second. Let's leave that alone, because that was generated by their AI, so let's leave that alone. Let's check my profile record to make sure we're returning the sysid. We are not. So the sysid is never coming back, so how could it possibly use it for the next input? Save. Save. Oops. And because I switched it to the autonomous instead of the supervised, you'll notice it does not ask me if I want it to do that step or not anymore. It just goes straight through. So it's automatically getting the profile record. Now it's looking up the QR code and failed. It does pass the profile ID in. Okay, so that did not work. Yeah, a better UI in terms of helping you bind inputs into some of these values, I think would be really helpful. On the off chance. Yes, like data pills. Would love some data pills of some kind. Anything that would like prevent me from making simple mistakes. Start. Thanks for joining us, Jerry. Have a good one. Let's see. Come on. Oh. Do I have that many on my profile? Now that I think about it, it might actually have been correct because I may not have any photo submission, or I don't have any photo submissions. So it's entirely possible that it was running correctly before. So I'm actually going to go back and adjust those back because I'm pretty sure they were actually running correctly the first time. And I don't want to leave things in a broken state. Change those to lowercase, save and continue. Now, there's one last thing I want to do before I wrap up today, just to see. See below for the expected states of the app. For the user to log in, they need a profile record, is active and enabled for the current event. Okay, because this is the error that I actually wired in, was my profile is neither active nor is it enabled for the current event. And what I want to see is, can it detect that? We're reaching the end here. I just want to see if it can detect the error condition. Okay, so we have profile. No QR codes were found. Expected. That's not expected. So that will need to be fixed. That's not expected either. Okay, the next step in the data gathering is fetch the user record. Skip this. Skip this step. So we're skipping over the roles, we're skipping over the user record. I don't want to bother with those right now. The user is requested to skip fetching both user record and user roles. So this shows you one of the cool, like this is neat. If this were a flow, like the idea of skipping steps in a flow, I mean, short of programming it in there somehow, doesn't exist. The fact that I could tell it, yeah, just don't do this, and it jumped over it and said, okay, I'll use the information that I've been given to figure this out is pretty cool. Analyzing the profile's validity. Continue with the available data. This stuff is, if this actually continues through, this is just not something I would be able to easily replicate with code at all. Like this is kind of nuts. And I say this having gotten more into using AI for a bunch of different things, but still when I see this stuff happen, it is nuts. Your profile is currently not in a valid state for login due to the following reasons. The profile is inactive. It is not enabled for the current event. There is no QR code associated with the profile. Once these steps are completed, your profile should be in a valid state for login. Okay, so it detected it successfully. That's... I hate that I have to stop. I have to stop myself. I will go all day. This is crazy. Holy cow. For reference, to get to this point in the regular development took me, I think, 2 or 3 development sessions to get to this point. This is wild. I have to stop. I really want to keep going though, because I want to see if it can fix it. I want to see so bad if it can turn around and do the corrective action, but I got to stop myself here today. With that, right? Like, this is nuts. Like, I just... You gotta understand that, like, as I'm going through this thing with C3, like, this isn't some hypothetical thing that we're dealing with. Like, this is an application that we're operating at multiple events. So having a profile that isn't active or not enabled for the current event, and some of the other issues that I'm going to throw at this as we continue, like, these are real issues that we're running into. And right now, the process that we have is I have to come in here, go to the C3 profile table, have somebody enter their email address into the email column, pull up the profile, and then I have to look, because the active field's up, and granted, I could turn around and improve this form a little bit so it's a little bit easier, but active field is up here, current events down here, and there are countless other problems too, because like sometimes you'll have cards that print out that don't have names and stuff on it. There are a lot of different steps to troubleshooting and managing this. If I can get this AI agent to turn around and do all of the analysis work up front, figure out what's wrong with it, and then take certain corrective actions on my behalf, This would save us a ton of time and effort at these events, which really kind of frees us up to do sessions, labs, it frees us up to do things other than just troubleshooting the C3 app, which is kind of where I am right now, is at all of these events, I spend most of my time sitting in front of a screen, figuring out what's wrong with somebody's C3 profile. If I could use this AI agent to proactively fix, if I can get this AI agent to reactively fix it, then I could look into the triggers and see if I can't get it to proactively fix it. Then maybe it starts to get to a point to where it's a little more hands-off. Then maybe, long shot here, maybe I could use, maybe not so much of a long shot, maybe I could use the AI to suggest code and flow changes that would fix the problem permanently so it doesn't become an issue in the first place. Now, some of these, like not being active for the current event, there's probably not a fix for. That's like a data import thing. Sometimes data doesn't match up, but there's other ones that I think it could reasonably fix. On day one, we've already got it identifying an issue. I'm happy with that. All right. And then Laszlo here, imagine what I could have achieved today equipped with the knowledge of double curly braces. Yeah, like most of the accomplishment here, like I'd say 90% of what I accomplished here, I accomplished in the last 10 minutes prior to my monologuing here. Like from 3 to 3:15 is where most of my work got done on this. And that was after we figured out the double curly brace thing. If I had been working this entire time on just, like, if I came into this with basic fundamental knowledge of how this works, it would have been nuts what I could have accomplished. Like, I'm looking forward to next session. Like, next session could get kind of crazy on this, and I'm really excited about it. It's a very different way of approaching the problem. It's a very different way of thinking about the problem. I feel like I'm adapting to it well, but it doesn't come second nature. It's not how I would traditionally think through things. It is how I would traditionally write blogs, though. So maybe if I think about it from that perspective, it'll ease the transition. But it's nuts how quickly this stuff is snapping together. Like I said, the ability to skip steps and still have a valid outcome, that's not something I could do in the other products. Like, I understand now when the folks who built this talk about the types of issues that you would use Flow Designer for versus AI agents, and how this is more of a, if you don't have a good, strict, hard process, like this case here, troubleshooting, it's not a straightforward procedural, like you could probably flow chart it, but this is a much easier way of thinking about it. Explaining to the AI, this is what good looks like, tell me where it's not this. That's what I want, like, and it's doing it. I'm excited about this. With that, be sure to check out our other live coding streams. We've got live coding, gosh, I always forget. Live coding Second Breakfast with Christy on Mondays, and live coding 11Zs with Earl on the alternating Wednesdays for me. And then we've got the official live coding happy hour. So be sure to check those out. I'm gonna have to do these more often. I'm way too excited about this. We'll be back tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. No. But we might have to do these more. With that, thank you all for joining. I hope to see you next time, and I hope you have learned as much about creating AI agents as I have today. This has been great, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.